Dear Twin Flame souls out there, welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening Journey podcast, and today is an episode 93. In today's episode, we are gonna dive into what's up with those intense sexual energies on Twin Flame journey. Why on earth all of a sudden you start feeling more intense energies and connections and things in your body that you never felt before. And I'm gonna dive into on every aspect why this sacral chakra and why the sexual energy on this journey is a key element to the union, to the healing, and to the transformation, and to the transformation of your life, of your manifestation, and everything. Because everything starts from the sexual energy, and I'm gonna dive into this. Another day I was listening the same thing about twin flames and why there is a sexual energy, and I normally do not listen, but I don't know why it came across and why it happened. And then this explanation there, and again I'm going to say I'm not right or wrong here. It's never about being right and wrong. It's about bringing perspectives and bringing information in order to bring in more light, more colors, more way of seeing it. My truth does not have to be aligned with your truth, and your truth doesn't have to align with my truth. It's about how we are feeling it and how we are opening our energies, our love, our connection. As we know on this journey as well, even though we can call ourselves twin flames, or that we had this encounter, as you know, I'm not the biggest fan of the term, but we use that term. Each one of your journey is different, and each one of you have a different outcome. And that's why I don't believe in a X method, that this method is going to help you to union. If you're going to do this, that's going to help you. I believe there are many aspects on this journey, and sexual energy is one of them, and actually one of the most important one. I believe that many of you have felt in your body, meeting your twin flame, enormous rays of sexual energy. Many of you might have had astral sex. Many of you have felt that this energy is taking them over. Let's say they are working, or they're driving a car, or they're sitting somewhere, and all of a sudden you feel this enormous sexual urge. You feel the connection. You feel something that you never felt before. Many of you might have a situation where they feel they cannot no longer be intimate with some other people. So literally their body will start rejecting it. And I will dive into all of these things, why you're feeling this and what is happening in your body. But it brings me back to this video I was watching. And then this girl was explaining there that, no, twin flame, we are all one in the sense of the energy is all one, which I agree. We are all one. We are all connected. But here is just one thing. We all have a frequency. Even though we are all one, we have a frequency, we are vibrating. And how do we know the difference of the vibration? Is when we see and connect with a person. Even though you don't know them, you can feel something. You feel whether they are a good person, whether they had a bad mood. And I don't even actually like to put in good and a bad person. I'm just going to say, what are their energy intentions? Whether they want to cheat on you, let's say lie to you. And you feel this all energetically. And this is what? A frequency. Even though we are all one, and we can all connect in this universe, we have a frequency that we are carrying. The frequency can change regarding to our life events, the work we do spiritually, the energy we are consuming. So here is why I often say, invest in your energy. Always invest in your energy. There is no better way of reaching to your manifestation of the life, the dream life you're desiring, the life to live in a peace, is than investing in your energy. The things that you do, meditation, energy activations, Reiki, breath work, yoga, running, exercising. All of these things are investing in your energy, in your energetic body. Another thing is the things that you consume, which books you read, what music you listen, people you surround yourself with. Are they gossiping? Are they talking bad? Or are you in a state where it's uplifting, where you feel that everything is possible and you can do this too? These things are very important on this journey of your frequency. Everything is frequency, and remember, you attract who you are based on your frequency. So that's why when you so-called meet your twin flame, you are on the same frequency, ready to heal, ready to transform, ready to become who you are. And you are sharing the same, mirror of each other to show you this is what you can become and this is what you need to let go of. And here is why I did not agree with her in that sense of saying that this is your mind that is creating this sexual energy, the desire of thinking that person and all of this. As I've been working now with energies quite some time, and I read a lot and I test a lot, and I'm all about energy. I'm very passionate about energy, as you can tell. That's why all my workshops, all my podcasts, everything is about energy. I'm very passionate about it, so that's why you keep on hearing me repeating the same things over and over again. But the reason I repeat them is because there is so much truth in energy. And now when we start thinking that things are from our mind, there can be that you can create from your mind a scenario that actually never happened, or you are trying to imagine something and you can create this, absolutely. But I am talking of the energy that entered into you. And this is totally possible. Every one of you who doesn't believe, do the research of Kundalini energy, Shakti energy, and come to my workshops, and you will see how the body can take it over, how the energy can take it over your body where you lose control. And I'm not going to go into all of the details, but I will explain today a lot about it. It is the moment you meet your so-called twin flame, it activates this dormant energy inside of your spine, the root. From the root, it goes into sacral. And now you will be thinking, well, it can happen to anyone. It can happen, I'm doing this by myself. You can do this totally by yourself. But again, we cannot deny that the moment you met this person in your life, you started to feel something inside of your body that you never felt before. So the energy starts to move from your sacral chakra, like the root, it goes to your sacral chakra. And this is the second. It's under your navel, and this is where all of the energy is located. It's located just under your navel. And it's all about the sexual energy, creativity, emotions, desires, manifestation, creating. Because remember, we women and men, in that sense, we have to come together in order to create. But in that place, we are creating a life. So in that chakra, we are creating the desired life and everything. And why I talk about it, why you need to accept the sexual energy from your twin flame, or that what is coming you towards energy, is because this energy starts to move up, and it needs to reach up to your consciousness, to the unity, to your crown chakra. And that's where the unity happens. The union happens up there. But if you do not move your sexual energy, and if you do not allow this to happen, because many of us might feel shame, guilt, judgment around their sexuality, around the way they would feel when their body is being taken over by this amazing, powerful energy. Many of us can feel that, let's say those of you who are married or in a relationship and you had that encounter with your so-called twin flame, that you feel very bad about it because you feel the guilt and the shame that how can you feel such a strong sexual desire towards a person you barely know. But sexual energy is here to heal you and transform you. Because again, like I said, the energy cannot move up if you don't allow it from the sexual energy. Now here is something I really want to pay attention to. If you would wonder how you're going to start moving up, because in these centuries, right now where we are, one of the most wounded chakra, the energy, is sexual chakra. Most of us are suffering under sexual chakra blockages, most of us. And that's also on this twin flame journey. Because if those of you who had, let's say, sex with your twin flame or connection with your twin flame or the intimacy with your twin flame, and your twin flame disappeared after, and normally we would say, in a normal relationship, we would say like, oh, it's not interested, it was just a one night, something like this, something like that. Here I'm just going to put a lot of pressure on Scorpios, because Scorpios, as you know, you are natural healers through sexual energy. This is given to you. And again, I want to say that the time and place and the moment you're born is not an accident. All of the stars are aligned for you to have these powers on that time. And if your sunshine is a Scorpio or your ascendant in Scorpio, you naturally heal with your sexual energy. So now what can happen is when you had intimacy with your twin flame, you can scare them, because all of the wounds, all of the insecurities, all of the things that they were afraid of and they were trying to mask behind the ego are there now. And so they tend to run on that time, and it feels like, again, if you would compare this to the 3D normal relationship, that the person was just not interested in you. And I totally respect both sides. Believe me, if this would have never happened to me, I would have never believed any of this. I would have listened and I would have been just like, huh? Okay, yeah, I think have your time. But since I experienced this energy starting to go through my body, including the sexual energy, I started to realize that something is not like before. My body is not acting like it acted before. Something is different. And I can remind you here that I had nothing with my twin flame. Nothing. And that moment, something with energy entered into my system that changed my life forever. So here is why I'm not saying that you need to have a sexual contact with your twin flame in order to feel that. And sometimes I would say maybe it's better if not, because it can really, really mess your mind. But the sexual energy is there. And so, but now it is this energy that is there, the sexual energy, is called, what it is called? It's called Shakti. We know Shakti and Shiva. We talk of their union, the energy. And where is Shiva located? Up in your consciousness. So now the Shakti has to travel all the way from this sacral chakra to the crown chakra in order to have the awakening, the consciousness to understand it, like to connect with this, all of it. And that's why when we were in my last episode, I said we are both. We are feminine and masculine, and that says divine feminine and divine masculine. But what is the reason we are calling so-called ourselves first the feminine, the divine feminine, is the reason of Shakti energy starting to move, the Kundalini energy, starting to move from your root, to the sacral and starts doing the magic there. And I'm going to say this over and over and over again. The reason the most of the internet or what we see out there is calling the divine feminines are the awakened ones and everything is because of exactly that. This Shakti, the feminine, divine feminine energy, needs to move up to the Shiva, to the divine masculine energy, which is the pure consciousness, stillness and awareness. And if the Shakti is not going to move, we can't move up there. We can't connect the divine feminine and divine masculine energies. That's why the power of Shakti is incredible. And if you are going to let this merging happening, that the Shakti energy, that the Kundalini, the life force, love energy starting to move from your root to the sacral, to the solar, to your heart, to your throat, to your third eye, to your crown. And the crown, you're going to meet the Shiva, the pure consciousness, which is going to get us to the state of non-duality, which I spoke about it before. Non-duality makes you to understand on that moment when your energy centers have opened up that you have never been in a separation, that you are one with the universe, you are one with your twin, you're one together, and you're really realizing on that time that there is no separation. There has never been a separation between the self and divine. That you're one together. But most of our energy centers are blocked, and the biggest ones that are blocked are sacral and heart. And so I know that many times I would hear, and I always want to say that this is not for me to say that, oh, you are saying it wrong or you're doing it. No, it's part of the process. I had no idea about these things. I had no conscious awareness of it. For a very long time, when I was first on this journey, I thought, based on the information I received, that I can control this with the mind. That if I do certain things, this is going to happen. Until I realized there's nothing with the mind I control. Yes, your mind up there in the crown sends out the information, sends out what it needs to get. Think of it like a little bit like a computer. It's up there, it sends the email, but now it depends on your energy. So if your sexual energy is blocked, nothing moves up there. So you're stuck. You're stuck. And you know what is the hardest in between? Is your solar plexus and your heart. Because these three chakras are divided from there on, from physical to the psychological in that sense. And there is like this barrier, like we have our ribcage, it's like a barrier there. It feels, and when we need to move from our solar plexus, it doesn't want to go to the heart really. And now I'm going to explain this, why these are like this. So now, with the sexual energy, what you're receiving from your twin flame, what the energy is coming, the very strong energy. And I just want to say it here to every one of you. If you are watching porn, or if you are releasing your energy very quickly through masturbation, which is sometimes helpful, you are releasing the energy. You don't let the energy to go up. Okay? Does that mean that you need to hold the sexual energy and never have sex and never feel it and just pile up in your sacral? No, I don't mean that either. I mean you need to learn to move that energy within fully in your body, in your energy centers. And that's why when your twin flame is entering into your life and you're feeling that urge of sexual energy and you're really feeling like something so profound that you never felt before, it's not there to punish you or to make you feel like a worse person. It's there to open up your manifestation portals. But if you are watching porn, you can forget about it. You can forget about it today. Porn is extremely horrible for your sacral chakra, especially for men. Women as well, but especially for men. For men, in order to create their power and get their manifestation, they need to be in control of their energies. Same for women, but it's a bit different. And so if you, every time you release and you have an addiction, you have a problem. You cannot reach to the consciousness. You cannot, because the sexual energy that is starting to pile up needs to move to your solar, needs to move to your heart, needs to move to your throat, to your third eye, and to your crown, and have that energetic power, consciousness, feeling that you're one with the universe. I've heard that from some of them who had sex with their twins, and they feel like an explosion, like a supernova up in their consciousness, that they felt they're part of the universe, they're somewhere there. This can obviously happen through the energetic orgasm, which I'm going to explain here. That can happen as well. And we are going to have all of these workshops out on, those who are on Patreon, they get the first tickets, they get the first places. And why I talk about it so passionately about it is because it's the key element for you to reach to the union. And your twin flame energy, and many of us would ask, am I feeling this I'm feeling this sexual energy? Is that when my twin flame is thinking of me? Might be thinking. There can be I would never say never. But what happened right now was that it activated this energy. And it feeds this energy. It becomes bigger. Those who've been on my energy activation sessions, you can see that all of a sudden the energy starts to pile up. Many of us do not move in the first sessions, which is very normal, and that comes down to the solar plexus. And I will explain that, why now our sacral chakras are blocked and why we're releasing them very quickly with a very quick intimacy, watching porn or masturbating. I'm not saying that these things are wrong. What I'm saying is start accumulating and cultivating this energy. Don't look for a quick fix. Don't look into something that, I need to release this, I'm going to release it now. Think of this a little bit like a balloon. That it starts to, like you're blowing the balloon, and then you get a little bit, the balloon gets a little better and you're already letting it go. Then again, you blow the balloon, it has a little bit energy, little bit air in it, and then you let it go. The balloon can never reach to its full potential because you're releasing it every time. You see, there is a little bit air inside, you're releasing it because something feels that it wants to come out, it wants to experience. But what can happen when you fully blow up this balloon? It gets bigger, it gets bigger, it gets bigger, it gets bigger. And then you let go of the balloon. How much longer and how does the balloon start to vibrate? We all have done this. We blow up a balloon, we let it go, and it starts to vibrate. It goes around and then it drops down. So now if you compare those of two balloons, what do you see the difference? One was like a little, little mouse. I don't know. I don't even have a good word for it. I don't even know what I want to say. But I hope you get my point, why I'm talking about it. You can't reach to your full potential if you're releasing it every moment, and especially when you do this, watching porn. I always say on this journey, you don't have to, you can lie to me, and that's okay, but don't lie to yourself. And the only thing is that when you lie to me, I know when it is there. So I'm just going to say that if you have these addictions, if you have these ways of releasing it, drop them today. Drop them today. Why? because the magic starts to happen in your life when you do not give your power of watching somebody else and you're going inside. Again, I'm going to repeat that there's going to be the same energetic orgasm workshop. And those of you who are coming to the retreat, of course, listen to until the end, because I have a big announcement for a retreat. But very soon, in 3 months or something, we're going to have a retreat here in November in Cyprus. And we're going to do all of these things. Why? Because I want you to reach to your full potential, to the union. That the energy will move through your chakras to the consciousness. And you will see what happens there. And once you experience this, you are a changed person forever. Many of you might have had sex with their twin and they might have felt something, and now they are hungry for that person, in that sense of a need, that I need this person to feel that. But I'm here to tell you that you can do all of that by yourself, with your energy. Of course, don't get me wrong here. There is nothing more beautiful than sharing a sacred moment with the person you love and you connect the most with. Nothing more beautiful. But if you are waiting and putting your energy into this other person and not going within you, you are never reaching there. And we know that twin flame journey is a spiritual awakening, spiritual ascendant journey. Number 1 is that. Number 2, 3, 4, whichever way we want to put, is the relationship, is the way your life is going to be, all of these things. But the number 1 is spiritual awakening. Whether you like to hear this or you don't like to hear this, this is what it is. So now let's go back to this, that your Shakti starts to move in your sacral, under your navel, and I might put it out on Patreon today, one of the exercises which you can do. You can place your hand under the navel and play around with this energy. But if you have a guilt, if you have shame, if you feel judgment, or if you judge others, all of this is in there and it's blocked. And you have a guilt of receiving this energy. Here's why I say that you always need to accept this energy divinely. You don't hurt anybody except yourself if you do not let this energy to come. So if you feel, let's say today you're feeling, after listening to this podcast, or overall, you're feeling that the sexual energy is arriving and you feel, stay in it. Start connecting with it. Don't look for a quick fix, please. I just beg you. If you're listening to this podcast until the end, please do not look for the quick fix. The quick fix will never get you there where you want to get. Stay on this energy. Start, like I said, you can start touching your navel, you can start touching your breast, your neck, your jaw, your hands, everything, and you stay on it. You're activating, because remember, you have so many energy points in your body, enormous amount of energy points. And the more you are touching your body with your fingers, you go around, you start from your hands, you go on and you go on, the more you are accumulating energy into your sacral. So the more you're able to stay on it, the more energy is there to open it up, to start moving. Sometimes it can be scary, and sometimes you can feel like you're losing control. And here is exactly that comes the next thing. The energy wants to move up to your ego now, the solar plexus. Our solar plexus is a personal power and will, and this chakra is associated with your identity of who you are. And so here is something where we are having a trouble. Let's say you're starting to feel all of this magic, and it moves up to your solar. And your solar plexus would say to you, if it's wounded, You shouldn't be feeling this way. This is wrong. How can you feel such a powerful energy? I'm not allowing it. So you have a fight in it because you are trying to be in control. Those of you who are coming on the 1st of September to the workshop of Inner Dance, you're going to learn that the moment you let go of the control, you're going to have even more control. It's a paradox a little bit. How come? I'm letting go of the control to have more control, but these are different controls, which means you are allowing to happen what's supposed to happen, not with your ego mind of thinking, this is wrong, this is right, this is how I should feel, this is how I shouldn't feel, what other people would think of me, why am I feeling this way, what is this? So you are like in a battle, in a war zone constantly. Is that good? Is that bad? If I feel this, is that good? If I feel this is bad? This is exactly what our mind does to us. Duality. If I feel angry, then it's a bad thing. And if I feel happy, that's a good thing. But anger is also part of us. If we don't have anger, for example, just to bring it in, it's a very silly example, but just let me bring it in. Let's say somebody would take your, let's say you had a bicycle as a kid, and somebody takes your bicycle and breaks it apart. And you don't have anger. You'd be like, oh, I'm happy. You broke it apart. That's so good. No, anger is part of it, of saying, hey, that's not okay. Look at the earth. Earth is not like in a sense of good and only good. It also has thunderstorms. It brings us sometimes more rain, and we would say, oh, why is it raining today? It's such a bad day. But the earth doesn't have this, that a rain is bad and rain is good, or sunshine is good and sunshine is bad, or thunderstorm is good and thunderstorm is bad. You see how our mind works. And this is a lot in our sexual energy around these days. What is good and what is bad. Me feeling this way is good, and me feeling this way is bad. If I do this, I might be too much, I might be too little. And you see how our mind constantly tries to find the comparison and the duality, while everything is in one. And now it arrives to your solar. And here is here is exactly where the control needs to go. So those of you who are wondering how to surrender, it's your solar plexus. It's your solar plexus that needs to surrender. And that's what we're doing at the energy activation sessions. Again, I'm just going to say that those of you who would like to come to the retreat, we will be doing a lot of this. Come, join us and discover something so profound and so powerful. The workshops are the same way. It's just what happens if we do it many days in a row. You're getting more into that your mind doesn't go from the place of working into a very nice session and then again working. But of course, and this will be the gift for you for a lifetime. And I know what I'm talking about it because I did that. And I always say, no money is worth what I have done, all of these things what I've done. No money is worth, because energy is everything. And the more I'm connected to my own energy and I'm allowing the energy to heal me, transform me, manifest, wow, what a gift. And so when you are able to now to slow down and surrender from your ego, that's why we have ego death. Isn't that interesting? That you feel these butterflies in your stomach, and then all of a sudden there is no. It's like something is breaking apart. Breaks apart your ego that was there. And again, why I repeat, why is accepting this sexual energy is important. Even though you never had sex with your twin flame, you never had anything. There are people who meet online and they feel this. I believe in this because of the online sessions I do. I see how the energy travels there. And I believe in this like within a millisecond. No, but and we are in the beginning of making such a change with energetically and understanding all of that. And so when we are able to move after surrendering, so here is exactly, so we can see that when people tell me, I am surrendered, and again, I'm not here to say to you that you are right or wrong. It's just the surrendering is not from the mind. Surrendering is from the moment when you allow everything that you're going to feel to happen in your body, in your soul, and your energy. You're allowing it to happen. Whether it's bad or good, there is no questions. We are very often afraid of like negative emotions. And I know I'm very Zen person in that sense. Like I don't like arguments and I don't like to get into that, and I don't like screaming, and I don't like anger or things like this. Because I always feel like, why to put so much, let's say, anger into screaming instead of I would use this into putting in a love. Both work, but we have to understand we cannot judge these energies by what is good and what is bad. And it's the same can happen now when you are receiving this, all of that magical sexual energy that the Shakti tries to move through your body, shaking everything inside of you. And it's trying to go through the heart. And when it goes to the heart, let's say you are able to let go of the idea how you should be feeling and how you should not be feeling. I believe in it's out on Patreon, our last Lionsgate event, one of a beautiful soul who I really admire because he's been around us so long time, and he always shares such a wisdom with us, which is so beautiful. Like I say all the time, I am so blessed. I'm blessed with each one of you who have stayed with me in a sense of trusting what I say, connecting with me, and sometimes not even agreeing, which is absolutely fine by me. But you mean a lot to me. Like I say, I have my journal, which I have now 10 journals, I would say, or 15 even. I can't even count, I don't know. I'm very bad at counting things because I live in a moment, and so for me, it's like the numbers and who is in a union and all of these things, they don't matter to me as much because I'm here right now, and I want to make sure that what I have to give energetically is there. And what was in a so-called past or future, it doesn't really matter to me as much. But what matters to me are you, the beautiful souls. Like I say, sometimes I close my eyes and I say, I wish one day I will sit all of you together and we show that light and that love and how the Shakti moves, the divine feminine moves through your body, through your consciousness, where you meet the Shiva. And the magic starts to happen. Shivaratri is coming up on February this 2025, and I have an amazing news. And this is at the end of the podcast. But that's a fantastic. Anyways, coming back again, we're jumping as usual. So now when you are arriving, this energy arrives to your heart. You're ready to surrender. You're ready to surrender. You're not going to block with your ego how you should feel, how you should not feel. Is that right or wrong? And what's happening to your body? And what noises you're making? And why you're making this? And it arrives to your heart. And what you're feeling in the heart is love. You feel so much love, and you're going to have such a powerful transformation. Because the sexual energy, which is just a primal force, is now transmuted into love. Now it's becoming a love. Now it is love. Can you imagine? Like a life force energy enters into love, and what it's going to do with this love? It's going to explode. And that's where you're going to have a compassion. You're going to interconnect with all the beings, everything around you. And it's going to expand your heart. It's going to expand the experience. It's going to expand your life. Remember, your heart is a pacemaker. Your heart is the one that calculates the time. Slow, fast, a little bit faster, a little bit slower. I will talk about this in the next episode, how time is from your heart. And when you're entering into the heart with this energy really deeply, you're starting to feel, this is what you felt with your twin flame when you were together, how time was different, how energy was different, how everything was different, because your heart entered something with this Shakti energy, a timeline, the past, the future, the present, that you were able to experience, whether your past lives already, whether what is about to happen. Everything was in that, because you have all of the knowing in there. You have all of it. All of it is in your heart. All of the timelines, everything is in your heart. And in order to tap into that, you need to open the heart. But you can't open the heart if you resist opening and letting the Shakti energy, the divine, to reach there. And again, I'm going to say, it's not from the mind. You don't open the heart from the mind. It doesn't work like that. You need to go into this. It was the same way when you met your twin, how the heart started to make a different time. Your heart is a pacemaker. You know, when they say that when we pass away, that we're going to have a moment, like a milli moment of all of our life. You can see everything, you can feel everything, you know everything. How? Because the heart keeps that, like energy, the Sacral Chakra energy, the love energy, the source energy, keeps that information. Even though you lived 80 years, you all of a sudden can see this with a blink, and that's it. So your heart is the pacemaker. I will talk about this it's a bit more complicated, and I have to put this in a more simple way of explaining it. But that's why we can feel the time very differently. And that's why the time, what we are experiencing at this moment, 5 days, 20 seconds, 30 minutes, is we are from the mind. But as we know very well that sometimes 30 seconds can feel like a lifetime, and sometimes 30 seconds feels like you just closed your eyes and they are open again. It's a heart. And then when it moves up to the throat chakra from there, you'll be able to communicate your truth and express who you really are, and from your deepest ways of who you really are. And now here's what happens. When we're starting to use the breath and the sound of moving the energy up, it's very normal. Many of us want to hold us back. If I make a sound like ah or ah, that it's a wrong thing, or even more sounds, it's like a wrong thing. But you need to sound. What is sound? That invites the energy. Sound is a healer. Sound is a one that is vibrating. Allow. If you come to any of the workshops, always make sure to use your sound. Allow your mouth to open. Allow when it comes. Because again, if you don't let this to happen, you're stuck. You're holding it back. That's what happens when we go to a bit of a trance state or things like this. We lose control. We're losing control of how we speak, what we do, what we're allowing. But it's so simple to let this energy to actually come out. And then it arrives to the third eye, and it opens up your intuition, your inner vision, your understanding of everything. And now when the sexual energy has arrived there, it's like it's highly refined. It's like the best of the best of the best. And it brings you the clarity, and you're able to see everything beyond this physical 3D construct. You're going to connect and see things in such a profound way. And I'm telling, the more you're going to practice this, the less you're going to be bothered of the 3D construct, because you are so connected with this universe and with the energy. And now when it arrives from the from your third eye to the crown chakra, it's where the divine consciousness arrives, and where Allah is alive. And when your sexual energy arrives to the up there, it brings you the spiritual bliss. It brings you this feeling of unity with the divine. It brings you understanding. I'm here. And I'm not limited by my physical body and mind. And it brings me back again, why am I talking this? Why I am talking so much about why you need to let the energy to move. And I'm going to say to you another thing, that if you're doing this first time or even second time or even third time, it might not happen because it's a long process to activate. Think of it yourself a little bit like a car that hasn't been turned on. Like tick, 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 tick. You're trying to turn the car on. Tick, 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 tick. So we are kind of getting there. But again, why I'm talking about it is that you need to let go of any self-limiting ideas of blame, judgment, all of this. And of course, do not watch porn. Do not masturbate in a sense of into the place where it's a release only for this, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Because you want to reach to the union. You want to feel that explosion. And I'm going to say here, as most probably men and women are physically different. And there are different ways, obviously, we are using by activating. And I spoke about this before quickly, that saying that Scorpios, for example, are here. There are others as well, in a sense of, don't get me wrong, but Scorpios are one of the strongest ones, and I just want to talk about it. That you need to be very sacred with your energy as well. And I know we live in this world. I know we live in this world where everybody sleeps with everybody, and I think the more you sleep with people, the better you are. I'm going to tell to the women that, and I'm not here to judge anybody. Please don't get this as a judgment. It's nothing to do with this. What I mean under this is be sacred with your energy. Both men and women. Men normally, I would recommend to have, again, 1 or 2 partners in your lifetime, or even maybe 5. And I know you'll be like shocked now. But if you would like to have a profound experience in your life, the more you're able to accumulate, the more you're able to stay present. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. And if you learn right now how to accumulate your sexual energy as a man, I'm talking as a man, in your sacral chakra, you're able to have your sexual act much longer. Because what you normally do, you don't even train your sexual energy. Just to say right now, you're having sex with someone, you're thinking, you're feeling the sexual energy, you're opening the porn or you're masturbating and you're letting it out. Now you're going to have a woman, your divine feminine is, you're not divine feminine, your partner is coming to your life. But your balloon is exactly like you've been able to get a little bit energy in there and it goes out. Boom. So you can't even find your full potential. That's why learning the energy, so-called energetic orgasm, and allowing the energy to flow, that you feel how it goes through your whole body, and you're going to start tremble and you're going to start feeling magic. Then you're realizing how important is the partner you're aligning with, because of and I know the internet will tell you all the time how, sleep with everybody, this is popular, this is this, and men should be having, millions of partners, and women shouldn't. And then at the same time, women are having, it's a disaster what war is out there right now. I'm just going to say, stay away from it. If you want to bring the magic and the unity in this world, become one. Become one within your body, within your energy. And just as a side note for men who are looking a partner, or women who are looking a partner, let's say they are even though on a twin flame journey, And this is why I'm talking about it. It all interconnected. All of this, what I'm saying here, is not because I'm telling you how you should be now starting to master your sexual energy. No. Like I said, the Shiva, the Shakti arriving to Shiva arrives to the consciousness. Where now, when you are arriving to that consciousness, you can connect with your twin in a level that is gonna get, that they're going to get very addicted and attracted to you. So now this is something here is to pay attention that once you are in that up in a consciousness, you attract everything you're gonna say and everything you're gonna do. So if you're going to arrive here and you're going to say, oh, my twin will never return, this will never happen, this is not real, I've made it all of that up, I want this and that, you're going to send that vibration out there. That message is going to go out there. Here is why we need to watch our thoughts and what we do. But again, for women and men who are listening, there is nothing more attractive, and everything is energy-based attractiveness, than a healthy sexual energy that your sacral chakra is open. There is nothing more. You know, sometimes we can see a completely beautiful man, we women know that, and we don't feel anything. We feel like, yeah, he's very handsome, but that's it. Most probably there's no energy. If you want to attract money, if you want to attract beautiful life, if you want to attract your twin, you need to heal the sacral chakra all through the other chakras. Sounds very easy, but it requires dedication, and it requires honesty, maybe in certain ways discipline, because all of these quick fixes, blocking, not talking your truth, removing, allowing, running away, porn, quick fixes of whatever, they're not going to help. And I wish I could tell you that they're going to help, but they're not going to help. So here is just an overview why you should be starting to accept your twin flames, so-called twin flame sexual energy today, and starting to get lost in that energy. If I get a moment today, I will be recording a small exercise what you can do and see the difference. It will be out on Patreon for those of you who are listening on Patreon. And again, and so here is just another thing I didn't put it out. For example, you had this enormous energy coming from your twin flame, and now you can't have intimacy with anybody else anymore. Like your body simply refuses. It feels like it wants to it doesn't, like, you can even have intimacy with others, but your body and your soul, like, you might cry, or you might feel completely empty. You might feel like you don't understand what just happened. Why am I doing this to myself? Crying is very common. Again, I'm going to say that our body is very intelligent, and our soul energy is very intelligent. If it says no, then it's no. Many of us can ask me many times, I'm trying to date others and it's not going to happen. Then you shouldn't be dating others. Because if you are, the person will come to your life and it will help you again on this journey. Remember, every soul that comes on your journey helps you on this ascension. Everyone. It's not only your twin flame. And coming to a alignment and union with your twin flame, in that sense, like in a union, 3D union is not the end goal. And I know this is, again, very hard to hear, but why I'm saying this? Because when you come to alignment and you open your energies, and how can you do this? Now you would be asking, exactly. Stay in that energy. Get lost in the sexual energy. Get lost there. Don't use good fixes. go to the Reiki, come to the energy activations, what I am offering, or somebody else is offering, whichever works you the best. Sound healing, breath work, shamanic work, what else I've been told. Not the energy activation is pretty much Kundalini, but I just don't like the word so much, so I'm using it less. I use it life force, transformation, manifestation energy, love, 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 love. And the more you practice, the more you start to feel how your body becomes liquid, how the energy is moving through, how you are like a magnetic for a magic, and you're magnetic for your twin flame as well. And the reason I know that is because, or I can tell that, is what I have seen, what has happened to me on this journey. And that's beyond. And of course, this is just the very beginning. As you know me as a little scientist, I read like crazy, and I meditate and channel a lot. So all my journals, all of the information, and I'm just putting it out piece by piece. But I hope that brings you in some clarity of understanding why this sexual energy is so important and why you should not suppress it or use the quick fix. I really hope it helped you. You can share your experience, of course, always in the comments, your questions, your understanding. I know it's a very intimate part, but I'm just going to say it's where the life begins. That's where the life is created. And you are now about to create a new life where you are somehow unstoppable and love. So yeah, that was the episode about the importance of the sexual energy on Twin Flame journey. Here are some few other things, and there is a big, big surprise. My dear United States friends, the next retreat after the Cyprus now will be in Costa Rica, and it will be at the end of February. Please sign up, and the information is out on the website. You can already sign it up. You can pay within installments. You can already organize this right now, and it will be at the end of February when we have our next Shivaratri, and we will be doing all of these exercises. Everything that I do it on the workshops, everything that I do in or I explain you here on the podcast. Because when you come to the guided moment where a lot of twin flames come together, a magic is about to happen. And now I felt it's time for my beautiful US friends, for me to fly over. I found a magical place in Costa Rica and ready to embrace that journey there. It will be 6 days long. I think 6 days. I will look it up on the website more. I have all the links in here in bio. Get your place as soon as possible. And I can't wait to meet you all. This will be a magic, and especially that we're doing this during the Shivaratri. Next thing is that Cyprus, we have the retreat here in Cyprus in November, 11/11. 5 days long retreat, and the same thing. We will be doing exactly these things what I explain about it, helping you to become your higher self, connecting with the consciousness, and discovering the power of who you really are, and how there is no separation in between you and your twin, how you are already connected. And we have 1 or 2 places available there. It seems to jump here and there. I would like to say that if you're really coming, make your first payment, come, you are secured, and it's going to be magic, really. I tell you, there is nothing more beautiful of when twin flames come together and we have a same energy, and you can see this on the workshops as well when we do it. It's beautiful, it's so comforting, it's so kind. So I look forward to see you all here and share this energetic moment with you. So both ways, it's the best Christmas gift you can do for yourself this year. If you've been suffering this year, if you've been going through hell, then now it's time to treat yourself. On the 1st of September, we have an inner dance workshop on Patreon. Those who are Patreon members, it's absolutely free for you to join. Those who are not can get the tickets on the website. Again, links are here in bio. Inner dance is to tapping into a inner consciousness and surrendering. So if you haven't done the energy activations before, maybe not the best idea to join this time, as it's a very intense and might be a little bit too much for those who have never done it. But at the same time, if you see the sign, if you feel it's your calling, feel free to join us on 1st of September. And then we will be moving back to the 2 times per month workshops, and more information on Patreon, of course. And those of you who would like to have a private energy activation session, those who would like to have a channeling sessions, channeling the energy, seeing what your energy is telling, which direction you should be going, or what direction your twin is going, or what is happening there energetically, feel free to book the call with me, twinflameawakeningjourney.com, or your first session with me. Why I say, when I talk to people, I see what happens to them is that liberation, because it's sometimes just so much to carry and not to feel crazy on it. So all of the times and schedules are out there. Anyways, that was today's episode. I feel there was so much more I want to say, and so much more to share about this, and show you in piece by piece how to unlock it, how to move it, how to become with this. But stay here. There's gonna be more episodes about it, workshops and everything. And of course on the retreats you get to see this in the live action, which is beautiful. I will see you soon. Lots of love and lots of light.
Just to try to make it through. I've been thinking about my options, every detail in my head, but it doesn't really matter, nothing matters, so I cry instead. My breath. I've been trying everything I can, but I ain't got nothing left. I've been staring at the ceiling, I've been staying up all night. Everything I ever worked for vanished in the blink of an eye. I've been asking every question, 'cause I haven't got a clue. Why's it gotta be me? What the hell am I supposed to do? I've been running circles, trying to catch my breath. I've been trying everything I can, but I ain't got nothing left. And I know there's so much more to this life, but it's hard to see it clearly. Yeah, I tried my best, but nothing turns out right. God, I need you now so dearly, 'cause I've been running circles, trying to catch my breath. I've been trying everything I can, but I ain't got nothing left. I've been running circles, trying to catch my breath. I've been trying everything I can. I ain't got nothing left.